All right. So, when it comes to Social Security, there are always, changes and updates and things that we need to keep an eye on.
Right.
And there's a pretty big one coming up that could really make a difference in how you access your benefits.
Yeah, I think this one is particularly interesting.
So we're going to break it all down today.
Yeah, this new policy from the Social Security Administration, all about how they verify your identity when you need to do things like, manage your benefits or whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah, and this might seem like a little thing like, identity verification, but it could actually have some pretty big consequences.
Absolutely. And we want to, make sure everyone listening understands exactly what's changing, what it means for them, and what they need to do to prepare for this.
Yeah, because dealing with government stuff can be a pain sometimes, right? So
oh, tell me about it.
we want to try and make this as clear as possible for you.
And if you're, if you find this helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss other important updates like this.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get right into it. The big change here is that starting March 31st, Social Security is getting rid of phone-based identity verification.
That's right. No more phone calls to confirm who you are.
That option is gone.
Gone.
So what does that mean for people? Like, how are they going to prove that it's really them?
Well, now you have two main options.
Okay.
So the first one is online through the My Social Security portal.
Right, so you're going to have to log in, create an account, all that jazz.
Exactly.
And then the other option, the sort of the old school way, is to go in person to a Social Security field office.
Yeah, you can still do that.
If you can find one.
Right. Well, and that's actually where things start to get a little tricky.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting because this change is not going to affect everyone the same way.
Right.
Think about folks who maybe aren't so comfortable with computers, or who don't have reliable internet access.
Right. Or maybe they don't even have a computer.
Right, exactly. So suddenly this online-only option, it's a big problem for them.
Yeah, it's a huge barrier.
Huge barrier. And it's not just about, being comfortable with technology. Think about people in rural areas.
Oh, yeah.
Where getting a decent internet connection, it's like winning the lottery.
You're lucky if you can get it.
So relying on this online portal, it doesn't work for them.
And that raises a really important question about fairness and equal access to these essential services.
Absolutely.
Like, if a big chunk of the people who rely on these benefits can't even get online reliably, is this policy really fair to them?
It's a good question. And there's another group we have to think about, parents or guardians who manage benefits for their kids.
Right, because kids can't have their own My Social Security account.
Exactly. So if a parent needs to verify their identity for something related to their child's benefits, guess what?
You got to go in person.
You go into the field office.
No way around it.
Which brings us to the whole issue of actually getting help at a field office.
Which has been a problem even before this change.
Even before this, it's been a nightmare.
Right? We've seen announcements about field offices closing left and right, nearly 50 in rural areas alone.
50, that's a lot.
It's a huge number, and it means people are going to have to travel even farther to get help.
And then when you do finally make it to the field office, be prepared to wait.
Oh, yeah.
We're hearing about average appointment wait times of over a month.
That's a long time.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
And even trying to get help over the phone before they got rid of this option, it was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. People were reporting average callback times of 2 hours.
2 hours just to get a call back.
It's crazy. So you can see how this new policy could make things even worse.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to put even more strain on the field offices, leading to even longer wait times.
It's not looking good.
So why are they doing this?
Right. What's the point of all this?
Why is Social Security making this change?
Well, the main reason they say is to fight fraud.
Fraud. Okay.
Specifically fraud related to direct deposit.
Right. People stealing benefits?
Exactly. And Acting Commissioner Leland Dudek said that they're losing over $100 million every year to this kind of fraud.
$100 million? That's crazy.
It's a lot of money.
So how are scammers doing this? How are they able to use the phone system to commit fraud?
Well, the problem was that the security questions they used to ask over the phone relied on information that's not really secure anymore. Things like your mother's maiden name or your past addresses.
Right, that stuff is pretty easy to find these days.
It is. With all the data brokers and data breaches, it's not hard for criminals to get their hands on that kind of information.
It's kind of scary how much of our personal information is out there.
It is, and it makes it really difficult to have secure verification methods.
So the SSA, they see getting rid of phone verification as a way to reduce that risk.
Right. They're trying to make it harder for the scammers.
Okay, so they're trying to prevent fraud, but is there anything good about this change at all?
Well, the SSA says that there is one potential benefit, at least for some people. They say that if you can verify your identity, online updates to direct deposit information will be faster.
Faster, like how much faster?
They say it could be as fast as 1 business day.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad, but here's the catch.
There's always a catch.
That faster processing only applies if you can verify online.
Right.
If you have to go in person, you're still looking at those long wait times.
So some people might get faster service, but a lot of people are going to be stuck with the same delays or even longer delays.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
So let's talk about how this will affect some of the things people do regularly with Social Security, like applying for benefits.
Right.
Will that process change much?
Well, the initial application process might already have online components, but the part where you verify your identity, if you used to do that over the phone, now you're going to have to either use the My Social Security portal or go to a field office.
So more hoops to jump through.
Yeah, potentially.
And what about updating your direct deposit information?
That's a big one because a lot of people used to do that over the phone.
Right? Super convenient.
Now the option's gone, so you're going to have to do it online or in person.
So for anyone listening, we'd love to hear from you. What are your biggest concerns about this change?
Yeah, how do you think this is going to affect you?
What are you worried about? What parts of this are confusing? Let us know in the comments. And if you're finding this information helpful, give us a let.
We really want to know what you think.
So what can people do to prepare for this change? It's happening on March 31st.
March 31st, that's the deadline.
What should people be doing right now?
The most important thing is to create a My Social Security account.
Do it now. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Seriously.
Because when you create that account, you're going to have to verify your identity using either ID.me or login.gov.
Right. These are those secure third-party services.
Right. And it might take a few steps. You might have to upload copies of your ID and go through a confirmation process.
But it's better to do it now than to wait until you absolutely need it.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, if you know you need to update your direct deposit information, do it now while you still can over the phone.
Take care of it now before that option disappears.
And last but not least, stay informed.
Right. These policies are always changing. There might be updates or tweaks or, who knows what.
So keep an eye out for any news or announcements from the Social Security Administration.
Stay in the loop.
So just to recap the main point here, starting March 31st, no more phone-based identity verification for Social Security.
You'll have to do it online or in person.
And that could be a real problem for people who aren't comfortable with technology, folks in rural areas, parents managing benefits for their kids.
Especially with all the challenges we already talked about with getting help at the field offices.
So it's all about preventing fraud, but it could make it a lot harder for some people to get the benefits they need.
It's a tough situation trying to balance security with accessibility.
And it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, as more and more things move online, how do we make sure that everyone can still access essential services?
It's a really important question.
Definitely something to think about. And before we go, just a quick reminder to subscribe if you enjoyed this and leave us a like.
We appreciate you listening.
Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.